The movie begins with the Duncan family happily celebrating their daughter's birthday, showing their wonderful bond. In the present,
I'll look you on that video.
Softball, having their father-daughter moment with their favorite sport. However, during dinner, the parents expressed concern about Kat putting her sport before academics. Still, Kat insists that she can do both and will definitely win their upcoming match. On the other side, at a strip club called The Den, the notorious street gang called the Fetter Boys enters, admiring the sinful view. Meanwhile, Donnie, their boss and father,
always a demon.
is beating up a man and mercilessly.
This nigga's always— why is this nigga a demon in every movie?
Meanwhile, Donnie, their boss and father, is beating up a man and mercilessly killing him.
Your shift. Okay, last one.
Then, his two sons show up, Rory, the eldest, and Danny, the youngest. Danny says he's finally ready to be part of their illegal business and receives his first gun, unlocking his criminal potential. Back at the Duncans, William and Kat get tacos to celebrate winning the game. William orders tacos inside a Mexican restaurant while
She like Bruce here.
Tacos to celebrate winning the game.
She like Bruce right here.
William orders tacos inside a Mexican restaurant while Kat is left in the car. Unfortunately, they meet their terrible fate as soon as the Fetter Boys arrive. They immediately force her out of the car, and she pleads to spare her life.
Why is she bleeding in the mouth? Did they hit her?
Offering everything she has. Sadly, it doesn't matter that she is just an innocent young girl, as she is only seen as Danny's first task to officially become one with the gang. Danny doesn't hesitate and immediately shows
No, she tripped? Oh, okay.
his determination to do it. Without remorse, he kills Kat, and it's already too late when William hears the shots. William rushes outside.
Rain day for the 5 get this, bro. L Motive, you know what's crazy? The shit I've been seeing on Twitter lately, bro. There are way less people be killing niggas for way less, bro. I'm telling you right now. I literally seen, it was so bad. I'm gonna like it on Twitter today so y'all can see it. These neighbors were arguing. Y'all probably know about this story. They were arguing over snow, like shoveling snow, like just a regular argument. The dude went inside, got his pistol, shot the wife and the husband, went back inside, took out an AR, and started shooting their dead bodies in the head over an argument over snow. There's literally a whole video of it. And the kid, apparently. Did the kid die too? Did he do the kid or no? I don't know. Probably not. But all I know was the wife and the husband. Somebody said kid. I don't know. I don't know if that's true. But I saw the wife and the husband get blicked over snow. There was another thing. These two workers were working with each other, lifting like heavy, what was it? Heavy, like, fuck. I don't know. Big, heavy shit. Like steel, metal shit. And one of them was bent down, fixing it up. The other co-worker saw him, just took one, no argument or nothing. Took this shit and, propane tanks. Like propane tanks, I think it was. Took the shit and smashed the nigga's head in and just kept doing it. Bro, shit devious out here. You saw that one, oh my God. There was a homeless dude just sitting on the street, minding his business on the sidewalk. Some guy went up behind him, just shot him in the head. Just shot the nigga to death. Bro, and there was another one. This trans lady or some came inside the gas station. There was a nigga just standing in line, had an axe, bashed the nigga in the head. Just imagine, chat. Imagine you literally just being in line at a gas station. Somebody comes in with an axe and just caves it in your head, bro.
And attacks him. Danny knocks him out but still gets caught by the police. Right after, William and Jen receive the terrible news of their daughter's passing and have difficulty coping with their loss. Moreover, justice was also unfavorable, as Danny will only receive 5 to 7 years imprisonment, which is very unfair to the victim's family. He didn't even plead guilty to the murder of Kat, as the other party argues that William had a concussion during the struggle, so his testimony is inadmissible. William is frustrated and left in utter disbelief at how pathetic the situation is. Still, he reluctantly accepts the plea deal for the sake of the case.
Stop
During
pausing.
the trial,
Okay.
William changes his intention of pressing charges when he concludes that he is taking justice into his own hands. He allows Danny to be released and follows the gang to Danny's place. In his car, William kills time until night to execute his plan. Moments later, Danny comes out, and William lets the monster take over him. Without a second thought, he runs Danny over.
Run that fuck nigga over.
Then, enraged, William finishes that punk off with a bat, leaving the scene.
Ooh.
Once returning home,
That's a good kill right there. That's a good kill. On my mind, yo, chill.
he quickly cleans his car and disposes of every piece of evidence relating to his crime. After that, he briefly converses with his wife, who is watching their family video. He feels shocked and overwhelmed by deep emotions, realizing he's done a grave deal that he can never undo. On the other side, the Fetter boys arrive at their club. Rory gives Donnie the collected money they take from the streets, but Donnie is not satisfied with it. He warns him he won't let him go easily the next time he comes up short again. After that, he receives the shocking news of his brother's death. They immediately go to the crime scene, and reality hits him as his world crashes upon seeing Danny in a body bag. His confidant and dearest brother is gone. The next day, Detective Chen visits William as a potential suspect. Although he looks quite tense, William insists he has nothing to do with it. Jen then supports his claim that he was at home last night. However, after the police leave, Jen confronts him. They get into an argument where he gets offended by her suspicion. Frustrated and hurt, they struggle to sympathize with each other as they continue to grieve their loss. At the club, Rory is determined to kill the murderer of Danny. So he orders his men to hunt down the man responsible, whom they confirm is William based on Luna's description. The following day, Rory and Henley find William working on his laptop outside a cafe. They take the opportunity to ambush him from behind by swiftly approaching him.
Somebody's behind him.
Fortunately, William counters them just in time.
Oh shit.
He tries to escape.
Yo, you think you seen the reflection in the laptop or some shit?
Approaching him. Fortunately,
you think they seen the reflection or some shit?
William counters them just in time. He tries to escape but eventually gets caught, hanging for his life. But with his skills and experience, he kills Henley and escapes them again. He reports them to a passing
I don't give a fuck, nigga. I'm just letting that shit. I just let that shit bang.
Police car, but Rory smoothly gets away despite being involved in many crimes. Upon reaching home, he feels threatened and immediately locks the house. Jen then suggests they call Chen for protection. At the crime scene, police find out it's another one of the Fetter boys, which makes this a serial crime. Chen receives a call from William, and they meet at Duncan's home. There, Chen confirmed the suspicion of William's involvement and made it clear to him that he had started a war with Rory when he decided to take revenge against Danny.
That's tough.
He also reveals William's Marine record, seeing he can handle himself. However, he still grants William's request to protect his wife by stationing a squad car outside
what happened?
After that, a car smuggler named Dante enters Roach's illegal auto shop and starts selling smuggled car parts on the black market. He sells them the car in exchange for money, but instead he receives a bag of high-grade guns he could sell for an enormous amount. That night, William confesses to Jen about killing Danny as revenge for taking away their daughter. Suddenly, the squad car leaves the area when a bottle is thrown at them, making way for Rory and Donnie to intrude into the house. Their short introduction and small talk soon escalated to Jen's death and William being shot to the ground. In a pool of blood, William still manages to call 911 as the Fetter leaves. The next thing he knows, he's confined to the hospital, sadly without his wife. Emotionally distressed and physically helpless, he tries to escape and express his unwillingness to live anymore. Still, the medical staff does everything they can to help him. After he's calm, Chen visits him and calls him a miracle man. He tells him they will share the news of his death if he commits to recovering. He also encourages him to live normally again, sympathizing with his loss. After days of therapy, he finally regains his ability to walk and immediately executes his plan to escape. He disguises himself in a janitor's uniform and easily leaves the place. Later on, he resides in a Western motel, where Dante is also staying, and finds him stealing someone's suitcase. The next day, he collects his money from the bank.
Hell no.
Dante can't hold back his curiosity any longer, so he offers to help him after learning about his conflict with the Fetter boys. At first, William is hesitant, but he eventually asks for his help on where he could get a gun. And Dante proudly shows him his collection of guns in his office. He shares his similar encounter with the Fetter boys in the past, where he got shot in the shoulder and lost his cousin. He also expresses his willingness to help him because they share the same hatred for them. In the end, William buys all the guns, ammunition, Dante's generation-old jacket, and a car as a starter pack for his ultimate revenge. Not long after, he goes to an open field where he practices his shooting accuracy and spends days training to prepare himself to fight the Fetter boys.
Oh, you good, gang?
When the time comes for him to execute his plan, he visits his family's grave and pays tribute. The heartbreak of a husband and father can never be healed and can only be ended with revenge.
Right.
That night, he prepares to attack Zach, Rory's right-hand man. He sneaks into Zach's house, where he catches him heavily distracted by his video game. He immediately attacks,
Call of Duty, what you think
and
it was
they
on?
engage in intense hand-to-hand combat. He can't help but be overwhelmed by Zach's size and strength. Fortunately, the tables turn, and soon Zach finds himself begging to spare his life for his daughter. But William's revenge doesn't come with mercy. Hours later, the police find Zach's lifeless body, so Chen visits Donnie's office to warn them. He reveals that their conflict with William isn't over, as he is still alive, contrary to the public's belief, and is definitely involved in the killings of Rory's men. He then clarifies that he is there out of goodwill to end their war and advises Rory to disappear for a while. After their awkward conversation, the Fetters don't really take his words seriously and continue to do what they do best, hunt down William again. Outside, William sees Chen exiting the den, and he immediately becomes suspicious of his action. He feels betrayed that even the authorities he trusts are turning a blind eye to their crimes, which further fuels his hatred. He then sneaks behind him with Chen's gun, and they enter the house together. There, he accuses him of being a traitor and insults him for not doing his job of protecting their community. Because even Chen says the Fetter has immunity in the system. Still, Chen stands against William's killing spree. The situation is unbelievably ironic when they couldn't even hold the Fetters accountable.
So
William warns him that it will soon be over, but if he gets in his way, he will kill him. The following day, Donnie orders Rory to ultimately eliminate William, and they immediately take off. Unknown to them, William had already predicted their next move and hid in his car parked outside the club.
You're already in that motherfucker,
He puts on his best drunk acting skills and quietly ends the bouncer. He goes directly to Donnie's office, shocking him. Donnie already knows what's coming, so he tells him to get it over with. William initiates a conversation about the visceral emotion he felt the first time he murdered someone, Danny. However, at this very moment, he feels numb at the thought of killing him. He asks if he feels as numb as he was when he killed Jen.
You gotta converse for 2 minutes before you kill a motherfucker.
The life of the notorious Donnie Fetter.
You have a 2-minute conversation before you kill a nigga.
With no remorse, he breaks the news of his father's death, but no tear drops from Rory. He didn't even flinch. The Fetter boys immediately rush back to the club, and all hell breaks loose as they hunt a dead man, a man no longer named William but a monster like them. At the office, they witness Donnie's lifeless body. However, Rory feels nothing and is somewhat detached from his paternal relationship. Nonetheless, they're not there for him but for William. Suddenly, William speaks through the speaker, informing them that he is still present in the club. And the hunt begins. At first, he sings them a lullaby but quickly becomes violent as a shootout ensues.
Bro, if I'm searching for a nigga, I'll find him, he starts singing at me, I'm out of there.
But Rory kills him instead. Fortunately, he manages to escape but with a shoulder injury. He drags himself up the flight of stairs as Dante watches him struggle. At the same time, Luna reports William's location at the motel. Shortly after, Rory arrives with a few of his men. They ask the front desk for William's unit but fail, so Rory executes him like his life didn't matter anyway. William still fights and works with Dante by trying to shoot them first. However, they are clearly outnumbered, so they have no choice but to leave the motel while engaging in a shootout. As night falls, their shootout continues, and Dante struggles to lose them on the tracks. So, he calls his good friend, Roach, who gladly assists and allows them to enter the garage. Right on time, they manage to take a curb to the garage, where Roach's gang shoots Rory's vehicle, effectively driving them out. However, Rory wastes no time for any delay and immediately crashes through the garage. Still, Rory stands almost unharmed, whereas Dante and William suffer from injuries. Rory bitterly shares how unfair it was for Danny to die because he adored him and wasn't meant for this kind of world. Seeing how occupied he is about his brother, William uses this opportunity to grab a screwdriver and stab it into his neck. With this, Rory dies quickly, smiling with insult, the face he wants William never to forget. Not long after, the siren sounds, and Dante escapes as the police surround the place. The police witness the horrible crime scene but also take it as a win, seeing the Fetter boys will no longer exist. The movie ends with Chen approaching William, who offers himself to be arrested. But he soon takes his final breath upon successfully taking down the notorious gang in his community, but with the price of his life.
I want 50